Having been in personnel, we get calls all the time.
Hey man, how you doing?
Usually they don't end up being.
This is De'Arnett Johnson. I want to know, do you have any positions at running back?
And it's just like this. You either choose the streets or you choose better.
A lot of guys, it ends right there. You have to have something deep down inside of you.
I can really make a way out of this, make a way out of here.
I remember telling him the baby didn't ask to be here.
Be there for your kids like your dad wasn't there for you.
He always used to call me and tell me, man, I don't belong on that fishing boat, man. I belong on that field.
Slow grind means just staying focused on the ultimate goal. The process doesn't come fast, it takes time.
Anytime you see anybody that come out of Immokalee and they make it, you know there's a special person.
Immokalee is a small town, probably about 2 stoplights, if that.
Outside of farming, there's really nothing to do for people here in Immokalee.
We're part of Collier County, and Naples is part of Collier County. It's the same county, but they're up here, and we're down here. And we're looked down upon. It's sad. It is what it is.
It's less fortunate out there, and it's so hard to make it out because of the things that are around you.
In a different avenue that you can go down, I have steered a lot of kids on the right path. I can't save them all, but I ain't gonna ever stop trying to save them.
We used to always talk, just because we grew up here doesn't mean this is where we end.
I grew up in the projects, a 3-bedroom apartment. I was raised by my grandma and my aunt.
All of us always was close. Like I always told him, I want you to have a relationship with your mom and your dad. His dad was in prison mostly when he was growing up.
I was going through a lot. At the time, I had just lost a daughter to domestic violence. It took me into like a shutdown. I had to make some decisions after that.
It's always tough giving your child up, but she knew that was the best thing to do. Her situation was kind of tough for her to to raise us.
My aunt, she made sure we did everything the right way.
We stayed out of trouble. We couldn't hang out really like that with our friends, go to parties, anything.
I always pushed them to do and go farther than we have.
This is all we know here in Immokalee. You see what you see, and it starts with the football program. We got a legacy of good running backs. Edgerrin set the standard. We're talking about a Hall of Fame running back.
Miami starting offense, Edgerrin James with 5 straight 100-yard games to his.
He's smoother than me.
He's got it sealed off. James to the
He's real smooth with the way he runs.
No lie, they used to call me Little Barry Sanders because I was shaking and baking everyone.
The way he ran the ball and the different plays he made, he was an athlete.
Making out projects and going to college, that's big time. Just having people before me, seeing those college coaches come in and talk to those guys, man, I want them to talk to me too. I can really make a way out of this, make a way out of here.
For the next 4 years, I'm taking my time.
Originally, we thought De'Arnett was gonna go to North Carolina. I don't know what happened with that, but God's plan, South Florida, the best place for him.
When I say the name De'Arnett Johnson, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Junkyard dog.
The whole city came out just to see us shine, boy.
The junkyard dog is a badass. He's gonna get it done. I don't care how big you are, how fast you are, he's gonna find a way.
Johnson all the way out to the 35, maybe the 30.
We had another running back at the time, Marlon Mack, and that was getting all the attention and getting all the carries. Not one time did De'Arnett get ticked about anything. He just came to work. He was going to be in the game on 3rd down for sure because he always came up with a big play for us.
It'll be happening continuous. Like, I'll run and get the 1st down. Like, they'll put me in a difficult situation.
I was like, you the junkyard dog. You just clean it all up for us. I can tell that he was nervous. He didn't want to tell me. I told all our guys, don't have any kids while you're in college.
I was mad. Ooh.
the mother of his child, she told me she was scared to tell the whole family. I was like, get over it. You know, once the baby comes,
I knew that Dearness was gonna do the right thing, knowing that he didn't have his father in his life. He was gonna be there for his son.
I told him that's the most important thing to me, and getting this degree is part of taking care of that baby.
We all played a part. I just told him, be the dad that you can be in your state. You can't come home and be that, you know, awesome dad where you're with your son 24/7, because what you're doing now is building the foundation for him later on.
Teammates, they encouraged me, you know, when I brought my son around, you know, they always showed him love, checking on him and seeing how he doing. They making sure my mind is right and focus on being a great father also.
Well, I told both of them, break the cycle. Break the cycle.
For a father to have that much love for his child that he never experienced from his father, it brings joy and it's overwhelming. And that lets you know that that love that he has inside of him has always been there. Always been there.
With the first pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select.
Third day came around, you know, I got my family with me, I got my girlfriend with me, everybody just hanging out in San Francisco. 49ers called me, so I'm like, okay. I'm thinking it's a call. Like, they called me, they say, hey man, you know, we love you a lot, you know, we definitely want to sign you, you know, after the draft. I ain't hear nothing at all, so I'm like, man. I called them, I said, hey man, you know, this is Darren. They said, hey, we end up signing another running back. After that, I didn't hear anything, so I'm like, man, that's about one of the saddest days I done had, you know. I done left my family, I done left everybody, drove off to the lake, man. I just sat there and I cried, man. I cried, I really cried, because, you know, that was my dream again, drafted in. That hurt me a lot. Monday morning came around, that's when the New Orleans Saints called me and they said, hey, you know, we want to invite you to our rookie 3-day mini camp. I'm like, okay, I can make this team. Like, I'm doing pretty good. The coaches said I'm doing good. Then, you know, they're calling people in to see if they're gonna sign you and stuff. So they end up not calling me in. And I'm like, man, this can't be right. I was supposed to be here, and, you know, it was heartbreaking. I ended up hitting my friend up, and he always told me, like, whenever you want to come down and fish and make some money, you know, I'm one phone call away. So I ended up making that call and telling him I want to come down there and go fish. The first week, it was fun. You know, I'm out there fishing, you know, seeing different types of fish, seeing sharks and all kind of stuff out there. About a week later, you drain, your body's drained, like, you know, you're tired of reeling the fish in. They're getting heavy and heavy. I'm like, oh man, this is I can't really do this. And you gotta wake up and do it again the next day. I'm like, man. But I did it just cause, you know, I got a son, a 5-year-old son that I, you know, try to make sure I take care of. And, you know, I had to sacrifice everything to do that, and that's what I had to do.
A lot of times people just gonna give up. They're gonna let a situation kind of determine their fate. When he understood his potential, he understood what he had going for himself, and he never let up.
He always used to call me and tell me, man, I don't belong on that fishing boat, man. I belong on that field.
At that moment, like, I told him, like, you know, I appreciate the opportunity, but, you know, I gotta go continue to go chase my dream.
What was your first impression of Dearness?
I loved him because he's a hugger. I'm a hugger. Jasmine's lease was ending, and Dearness was actually staying with Jas because his lease had ended. She said, we just need a couple of months to get on our feet, and we won't be in your hair too long. That ended up being longer than they thought. He was kind of in a slump.
To this day, I think that was like the toughest thing that we've gone through in our relationship, because even when he was down, you know, I still had to somehow pull him through that. And I didn't know how to handle it at the time. It just made us realize, like, how much we actually needed each other.
She didn't give up on me, you know. She believed in me more than I believed myself at that moment.
And that was the biggest thing. Keep moving forward. And that time will come.
You can still get your football fix with a new pro league that's starting up, the Alliance of American Football.
This league looks to complement the NFL and could also give some college stars a second chance at their dream.
I seen the opportunity of a new football league coming out.
This was the last chance hotel. If it wasn't gonna happen here, you weren't gonna play.
I said, I'm just calling every day. Hey, how you doing? You know, this is Dearness Johnson. Do you have any, positions open at running back? And they'll say no.
And we did not have a spot for him. It wasn't like, no, I don't like it. It was, we got a good group. We'll see. Somebody gets hurt, blah, blah, blah. And that did happen. That's how, otherwise he wouldn't have got his shot with us.
Well, we went over as a coaching staff. We're gonna bring you in, into training camp, but we're not gonna sign you. I said, hey, that's all I need.
He came in and he was 4th or 5th, and it was no guarantee he was gonna make the team. This is where I give credit to Coach Spurrier. He would, he'd do a little something in practice. Who's that guy? Because we were all learning these guys. We didn't know these guys. He throws Dearness out there. It was impressive.
Gilbert hands the football off inside. Johnson out to the right side.
Just to hold the football again, it was just a blessing. It's just I had the time of my life.
We went to that game and he ran and did a little dance at the end. Like, I got emotional in the stand. I'm the emotional one.
You have to give him credit for that. He was dogged in his persistence. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna be the back that you lean on. He knew it. We had to figure it out.
He can do this. It's been there. It's just like, give him a chance.
The Alliance of American Football is no longer a thing, and that is very,
When the AAF ended, I ended up going back to Gainesville to work out now. I'm working out for real now, so that's how I got linked up with Tim Montgomery.
World record for Tim Montgomery.
I'm very close to Tim Montgomery's family, and I was aware that there were multiple athletes in town that were training with him at the time.
Nobody wasn't used to stuff like that. I'm out there throwing up and stuff. So I'm like, okay, I like this. Like, this is what I need.
Dearness threw up every single day. His fiance would send me pictures of him sleeping on the couch, sleeping on the floor, but he would show up the next day, sore, tired, and ready to go. And that told me a lot about himself.
That's when I ended up getting a call for a workout with the New England Patriots. I'm at the door, just let me in. I was getting ready to go for a morning yoga class, and that's when the Browns said, hey, what are you doing right now? You think you can get on the plane and fly out for another workout? They end up, bringing me up to the office and saying, hey, we just want to say, we want to sign you to our 90-man roster. So I'm like, thank God, like, it's a great feeling, man. I couldn't even sign the paper because I was shaking.
He sent me a text saying, OBJ told him, whatever you did in the off season, keep doing it because you came back different. And I mean, I had to pull off the road and yell out the window.
But there was a flag in the pocket. Nick Chubb, holding his right leg, Doug. Yep. Kareem Hunt immediately off the sideline.
With Hunt, he can handle a big load if Chubb is indeed out. Dearness Johnson also active for
the Cowboys game. I was cuddled up under the covers. I had the phone right here, and I was just in my zone. I had my earplugs in.
I texted him before the game. I had told him, whenever you get your opportunity, just seize the moment and just make it your best. Once I seen him get the first carry, I was like, oh yeah, I already know what time it is.
Get the ball left side, running with it, Dearness Johnson. He's to the 40, he's to the 35, he's to the 30, he's to the 25-yard line, and Worley takes him out of bounds. And on first down, they give it to him. Dearness Johnson, up the middle, drives the pile out to the 14-yard line as they give the Browns the first down out of the 20-yard line on 2 runs by Dearness Johnson. Winner gives, Johnson bends it to the outside right, 20, 25, he's out over the 30, out to the 31, near the 32-yard line.
How about Dearness Johnson now 9 yards away from his first career 100-yard game?
Wow.
Everything I've been through just growing up, having this dream of making it to the NFL. I ain't even got a tattoo on me in high school with a dream catcher. And I looked down and said, hey, I'm finally here. Like, it was just one of the biggest moments of my life, man. Just being able to say you finally made it.
Being on the boat, working out, he never gave up because he knew what his passion was. He knew what he wanted to be.
Even when he went to the other football league, a lot of guys, it ends right there. You have to have something deep down inside of you. I know where it comes from, and nobody's gonna be able to break it.
That's how they want all the stories to go, and they don't, right? So when you get one, defies all the odds, then you live for those stories. That makes it all worthwhile.
To this day, try to compare guys to him. You know, I need a guy like Dearness Johnson.
We're gonna keep it moving now. We're gonna keep that train moving on. Let's get it.
Oh, God's not through with him yet. They haven't seen nothing yet. That's just a taste of what Dearness can do. Dearness already had that greatness in him.
It's been a long journey, and I just try to make sure I seize every moment of it.
It's just him. That's what's in his heart, and that's how he plays the game, and you can see it. It doesn't take long once you really put your eyes on him, what the guy's made of.